What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you come into the channel. Check out the content. And with that being said, I want to speak on Shador Sanders and how Shador Sanders is. The reports are coming out that Shador Sanders is doing pretty good. Um, it's not in training camp. I think they just like having 7-on-7s and OTAs and stuff like that. And they're saying that Shador Sanders is working out pretty good. And so I just want to say that I never doubted that Shador Sanders, and I don't doubt that Shador Sanders can, that he's a good football player and that he is not worthy of a spot in the NFL. Excuse me. I just think that I thought that it was all about money from the jump, right? And so what I mean by that is Shador Sanders and his father and his brothers, they come with a brand. They come with a brand that is already established, right? And that brand that is already established, that is established, that prime, it's called Prime. That Prime brand, um, you know, the NFL don't make any money off of that Prime brand, right? And so what would have happened if, say, if Shador Sanders had gone top five in the league? That meant that Shador Sanders would have, number one, he would have probably got like around about $30 million. They say so. If Shador Sanders go number one, two, or three, he probably that spot right there would have been worth for Shador Sanders $30 million. But what was worth even more was him that number going in the top five. He would have been able to use that type of publicity and that type of whatever you call like the fanfare that come with being a top quarterback. They would have been able to leverage that into making even more money and helping to grow their brand even more. That would have grown their brand even more. So you would have made more money from the contract. Then you would have made more money being able to leverage like his status in the league. So now when Shador Sanders don't go top five, he goes in the fifth round. Now they don't have that same leverage, you know. And so when you look at the NFL, the NBA, and all any of the major sports, they are not in the business of helping you grow your brand, and they see you, they saw Shador Sanders and Deion Sanders, they see them as competition. Like so, to them, it would not have made sense for them to bring Shador Sanders in at and give him a that status as a number one of the top quarterbacks in the league, which they would have been able to use that to grow their brand, plus give them another $30 million on top of it to compete with them as far as like selling merch or whatever they do in their brand. So and those professional sports, they want to be able to make money off of you. They're used to you to being able to make money off of you, not you coming in there taking the money that they give you and then using that money to grow a brand where as though you can compete with them and their partners. That's not, that's not what the NFL was looking to do with Shador Sanders. And so now, even now, you see that like Shador Sanders, let me see, he has the best rookie selling, he has the top rookie selling jersey, right? Shador Sanders is at number one. Then you got Travis Hunter, his jersey number two. Cam Ward is number three. Ashton Gently is number four. Then you have Abdul Carter, Jackson Dart, and then so on, right? Now they don't mind you having a top rookie selling jersey because they make money off of that. But if you come in with your own brand and you're selling, you have your own and you're making all that money and you're competing with them, they didn't want that. It was the same situation with LeVar Ball and the Ball Boys. He came in saying that he was going to start his own tennis shoe company, and that didn't sit right with the NBA. That they didn't want to. He had his own brand. He wanted to use the money that they got from him playing in the league to start their own company. That didn't really sit right with them. So I believe that that they probably did some things that really didn't that helped sabotage that Ball brand, and wouldn't allow that brand to grow, and compete with you don't why would you set LeVar Ball and their sons up to be in a position to compete with Nike, Adidas, your partners like that? So it didn't make good business sense for them. And so it's the same thing with Deion Sanders and his sons. They had their own brand. And I think that you will continue to see, like, anytime you come to one of these major sports or any sport and you have your own brand, they don't want, that they're not going to allow you to do that. And if you notice now, like, what's the LeVar, what's the kid name that's playing with Charlotte? Now he has a contract with Nike. He's not even promoting his own brand. He has a contract with Nike. What's the kid name? What I forgot what LaMelo Ball. He's with Nike. Now you can get, as long as Nike or one of the sponsors for the league, whatever league you playing in, as long as they are getting something out of the deal, then you can have a shoe, but you're not going to have your own shoe company playing in the NFL or playing in the NBA, competing with partners, the partners of the NFL and the NBA. They just not going to allow that. And so I thought it was a big mistake. Even when LeVar Ball was announcing that they will, once his son get drafted, they're going to start their own, shoe line and stuff like that. I didn't think it was a good idea. It's never really a good idea to tell people what you're going to do in business anyway, until you already up and running. You're in a position where you can do it. So I would bet that there was some things done behind the scenes that that would probably allow them to stunt the growth of something like that, as far as the Ball Boys are concerned, as far as that Prime brand is concerned. Like I said, this kid, his jersey is number one. He's a number one selling rookie jersey. And now all of a sudden you have people saying that, oh yeah, he can play. He should start day one, and but it was never about his playing ability. But let me go ahead and play like some audio of a commentator saying that that he's doing good in camp and he can play, and that they should start him, Shedeur Sanders, day one.
Shedeur from day one. When we had Mark Sanchez in New York as a rookie, he started from day one. Things worked out. We had a couple of years of really good success. But if I'm Cleveland, Joe Flacco is a great backup. He's going to be 40. I would have Dillon Gabriel compete with Shedeur. I'm assuming that Shedeur will beat him out. I think he has more ability. And by the end of the season, the Cleveland Browns, Christine, have to know what they have in Shedeur Sanders and Dillon Gabriel. Well, Kenny Pickett just hasn't worked out. He's been a little bit of a journeyman. Maybe you trade him at the end of training camp. But to me, job 1, 2, and 3 is you need to know what you have in Sanders and Dillon Gabriel. And I would play those guys right away, let them have a competition. And in my view, Shedeur has more ability, and I assume he'd be the guy.
Yeah. I watch him. He's talented. I hear things. He's handling things well. We'll see. He's 2 days in. He's 2 weeks in. He's going to have to win every single day in the meetings, in the asking questions, in the staying after practice, and all of that, because just to earn more chances. Right. And we're going to really judge, and I'm going to be a part of it when we get to the summer and these joint practices, because that's where it's going to be. But to earn those chances, he has to do it now. And I really think the other guy does too, because I don't see the other guy impressing at all. And I'm not trying to be personal with him.
Right.
He does not look like an NFL quarterback. And 31 other draft rooms didn't think he was a second day pick.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to earn those too, because eventually they're going to matter. Right now, we're just talking about them. They don't matter.
The first.
All right, so now all of a sudden, they're saying that Shedeur Sanders, like I said, it was never really about Shedeur Sanders' playing ability. It was always about, in my opinion, it was about that money. It was about NFL being able to control Shedeur Sanders, Deion Sanders, and that prime and that brand. You setting these guys up where as though they can use that notoriety, that fame, that publicity that comes with playing with an NFL team, being a star on an NFL team. They can use that to parlay their business, their brand, and grow their brand, and then compete with Nike, Adidas, or whoever the partners are with the NFL. And so now, everybody's saying, well, Shedeur Sanders, he should start. And then the guy who got drafted before Shedeur Sanders, you heard the guy just said it. He don't even look like an NFL quarterback. And a lot of people said going in that he didn't look like an NFL quarterback. But now, so it was never about Shedeur Sanders' playing ability. It's about money, and it's about like not wanting to compete with Shedeur Sanders. Like nobody, these people are not going to sponsor your business to be able to compete with them. It just didn't make good business sense for them. And that's why I think that you'll see this like as kids or as people come into the league with this NIL money, and then they come in, not only are they coming into these different leagues with NIL money, but they're coming into the league with like large fan bases. And so people are going to try to leverage those fan bases and the money and use that money to grow their own brand, and start their own merchandise and sell their own merchandise and stuff like that. And so it's you'll see more of this coming down the line where and it may even the NFL or whatever these big leagues may even, like put contracts, say in a contract, like, no non-compete contracts, like whereas though you can't start your own shoe label, or your own shoe brand. You can't wear your own t-shirts, they might come up with something like that, because if you say, for instance, LeVar Ball or LaMelo Ball or one of the Ball brothers was wearing their shoe in a game, that brings more eyes to the NFL, to their brand, but you're selling their brand on somebody else's platform. So it's going to become a larger issue. It's going to become a more public issue as you have people who are who have that same entrepreneurial spirit that want to come in and they just want to do their own thing, as far as like, like they may not get a Nike contract, but maybe they'll say, well, all right, I'm not going to get a Nike contract, but maybe I can sell my own shoes. Maybe I can sell my own shirts and stuff like that. And I don't think the NFL is going to, or any of those big leagues, they don't want to see people do that. They don't get a cut of that. And then their partners, you know what I mean? They don't want to set you up in a position where as though you competing with their partners, and so it like I said, to me, it was about money. That's why I think Shedeur Sanders didn't go until the 5th round. And now that you see like they're practicing and stuff like that, everybody, these people saying, well, Shedeur Sanders, he looks like he's the most ready out of the 2 rookies that they have. Deshaun Watson probably won't be there. Kenny Pickett probably won't be there. And so it'd probably be Joe Flacco, Shedeur Sanders, and the other guy that was drafted ahead of Shedeur Sanders, which they think he's not even NFL ready. So yeah, man, it was all about the money. So that's my take on it. With that being said, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, don't forget to leave a comment. Let me know what you think about, do you agree that Shedeur Sanders didn't go until the 5th round because of money? Not because of his playing ability, but because of money. And with that being said, I'll check you all out in the next video. Peace.